This screencast will show you how to create assignments within a Digication course. Within a course, you can create assignments to collect and respond to student work in a private environment. First, we'll take a look at an assignments section from the instructor perspective. When I enter my course, I can see that some work has been submitted. If I've checked this box to receive email notifications, I've already been notified that the work is ready. When I click on the Assignments tab, I see my assignment grid. Along the top, you see the assignments listed. You see I have created 3 assignments. Down the left, I see my enrolled students. Along the top is a key that shows the color codes for the status of each step. The orange boxes indicate that work is waiting for my review. Assignments in Digication are made up of a series of steps. They can be simple or very complex. In this course, I've set up 3 assignments that range in complexity. I'll open each briefly to show what I mean. I click on the project title to see the detail. The first project is the most simple. If I click Edit Assignment, I can see the steps. This one is made up of only 2 steps. The student submits a draft and the instructor provides feedback. I can set this up so that students can use this link multiple times to submit work. I click back on all assignments to go back to the grid. And let's look at Project 2. Project 2 includes a draft submission and 2 forms of feedback, from a peer and the instructor. Then there is a link for a final submission and a final reflection on the project to be completed by the student. Again, I'll click all assignments to go back to the grid so we can look at Project 3. Project 3 is the most complex. It includes 4 different submissions from the student, a proposal, a draft, a second draft, and a polished project. It also includes self-assessment, instructor feedback, and peer feedback, and ends with evaluation of the project using a rubric. You can imagine that assignments can get very complex. It's best to start with a simple structure and build a more complex assignment as you become accustomed to working with the feature. So let's build a basic assignment. To create an assignment, click the Add Assignment button. To create a new assignment, give it a name, and you can give it as complicated a description as you'd like. Then click Save. Next, you'll need to add steps to your assignment. I'm going to click Add Step. Now there are 3 main types of steps. The first one, evidence, is work that students submit. Next is rubrics. Rubrics can be built by instructors but then assigned to either the teacher, a peer, or the student themselves to complete. Reflection steps are basically a text box that can be again assigned to the teacher, a peer, or the student. And standards can be associated with assignments as well, like programmatic goals or professional criteria. I'm going to start with an evidence step, so I'll click on Evidence, then click Add this step. Now the title My Evidence won't mean much to students, so I'll replace it with something more specific, and again you can add in a description or more specific instructions. On the right you see you have some options available for the step. Now most of the steps in an assignment flow, it will make sense to choose to make the step available after the previous step is completed. But since this is the first step in an assignment, I'm going to choose to make it available immediately. You can also choose a date to close off the assignment's availability, and If you click this box after the step is completed, should changes be allowed, this is what will enable students to use this link repeatedly to submit different drafts of their portfolio. Submitting a new draft won't replace the old one, so you'll end up with an archive of snapshots of the student's work through time. I'm going to click Save to save the step. Now, even in a very simple assignment flow, you probably want to include a step for giving feedback to the student. So I'll choose Add Step again, and this time I'm going to choose a teacher reflection and click Add this step. Now again, I don't really like this title, so I'm going to change it to Instructor Feedback. You might want to add a description. Since this is an assessment step, Digication wants to know what step it is assessing, so I'm going to choose that draft portfolio. Again, you have the same options over on the right, and in this case I think the defaults make sense. I'm going to allow this to be used additional times again, and I'm going to click Save. Now my assignment is ready. When I go back to the grid, I see it listed. When my students look at the Assignments tab in their view, they'll see the first step waiting for them. The unavailable steps will be visible so that they can see what's coming, but they're grayed out and inaccessible. Now I have some assignments waiting for students. To see how to access and respond to assignments, watch the screencast called Accessing and Responding to Assignments.